I heard y'all fuckers like plywood. Hi, everyone. It's me again. Pleasure to see you. It's Austin. Floofendoofen. Floofenheimer. Floof the Friendly Ghost. Synonyms. It's great to see you all again. It's fantastic. Oh, I haven't seen you since, like, last week. You know, when I made a video 2 days ago, because I have to do this shit in, like, short day spans, otherwise I go insane, because I can't put the stigma on myself, but I could make, like, multiple videos across one. You get the idea. Anyway, here's my funny piece of plywood that I bought from the back room of a music go-round for $100, and if you don't know what a music go-round is, it's basically like Goodwill, but for musicians. It's fantastic. I love it. It's got to be one of my favorite stores around town. It's super close to where I currently live, which is at college, in one of the nicest dorms imaginable. It's so nice here. It's fan. The elevator has stopped on me 4 times, and I've been in it. Please send an adult after me. Anyway, I bet you're wondering what this P-Bass comes with. This $100 Squier Affinity Series P-Bass. Not even Precision Bass. It actually says P-Bass on the fucking headstock. The answer is a lot more than I thought. I honestly bought it because I thought it would be haha silly plywood. And here I am sitting with it, with my Rickenbacker in the living room, just kind of chilling and hanging out, having a good time. And yeah, I thought, you know, the best way to start off this little chain of videos, because this is going to be this one, wiring harness, 2 pickups, at least 4 videos. I needed to learn to count. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is going to be 4 videos. Currently it's strung up with Ernie Ball Slinky 100 to 40 to 100 gauge strings. I just wanted to try something new. Usually I use 45 to 100. And I'm liking the 4100 range. So yeah, that's it for that department. But what do we got here? Well, this P-Bass is the 20th anniversary edition, and by that I mean they labeled all Squier 20th anniversary editions out of the factory, because in 2002 it was the 20th year of Squier's opening. So you know how we have the 40th anniversary edition this year. Yeah, just take that, but like 20 years back, and now it's 20. And yeah, it's an P-Bass. It is one of the most an P-Basses of all time. There really is nothing more to say here. It is P-Bass. There was a bridge screw missing here, and yeah. Oh yeah, this thing is a little bit of a silly story. I probably should get into that first before we dive too deep into things. So as I said, I bought it in the back of a Goodwill equivalent for musicians. And I bought it under the catch of I don't know what's wrong with it by the shop owner, the guy who runs the music around. The bridge was slammed, the neck was a little bent, but not too bad. There were shims in it, but they were placed improperly, and the tuners are there. Now, these are still the same tuners, but everything else has been addressed. The bridge has since been raised. The neck has been shimmed properly. I tried taking the shims out to see if I could lower the action, but unfortunately, the bridge was still lower than your mother on a Friday night, and the action was still higher than Wiz Khalifa. Let's get into the way this thing sounds. Here you go, you rats. Here's your one slap line. See, that was really slick editing. I like right as I finished saying that, there should have been like, oh, tone all the way up, tone half off, tone off. Me playing like the same simple line. For the sake of showing you an example. But you don't get to see that because I'm still in the first recording of where I've recorded everything else for this video. But yeah, so these are some of the pickups that come with it. They're there. They used to have foam in them that worked, and when I got it, it didn't. I have since replaced the foam with packaging foam that came with the two sets of pickups that I have over here, but that's for later, honey. The bridge screw has been replaced with a regular Phillips head screw because the musical round that I went back to see if I could find a little grub screw for it, well, this is all that they had. These knobs turn. They work. Miraculously, they don't scratch like hell. They scratched like hell when I was in the shop, and I knocked the price down from what they were going to ask, which is like $120, down to $100. And that's how I got it for $100. The headstock looks like a Fender headstock because it is a Fender headstock. But where the diamond in the rough kind of lies in this thing is actually with the bodywood. This thing's got excellent bones. This body is supposedly an alder body on a rosewood neck. So I think I got away with a pretty good one here. And it doesn't sound too shabby, at least to my ears, going through my Geddy Lee GED 2000. No, it's not the GED. It's the DI 2112, like the album. The Geddy Lee preamp, but not like the really big long one. I have the desktop one. How about that? How about I do that? Picture. Knowing my dumbass and my editing, the picture's going to be to my right instead of where I put my hand over to my left. You know, I've kind of been around with this bass, and I've had a pretty good time with it. I did my jury with it. I played some Jamerson lines because I go to school for the Ha-Ha Funny long guitar. And it served me surprisingly well. I did an open mic performance with it, where one of the performers at the story time again. I co-host an open mic local in town here in Colorado Springs. It's called Jives. If you want to come see me in person, that's the place to do it. I'm there usually every Wednesday night, except for the Wednesdays of these dates above my head, because I will be out of town. I will be back home for the holidays, of course. But usually I am there. Usually I am open micing and hosting. I'm really just the snarky co-host that backs up the main co-host who goes by the name of North Star. Anyway, I was there, and one of the performers saw me playing bass and said, hey, could you play for me? Here's the chord changes for this one song, and we jammed, and it was a great time. And this thing, and that was before I did the pickup thing, too. This is when the pickups were like, there were two zip codes separating the pickups from the strings, and this thing held up, surprisingly. So these pickups are a little hot, but not too hot. I've learned that the placement that I have them at right now seems to be perfect for it, and the strings are good. Really, the main two issues I have with this bass are the bridge and the tuners, because the bridge exists and is kind of a hunk of shit. It's really just all the hardware and the electronics, basically the places that you do cut corners. But it's got fantastic bones, like I said earlier. And with that, $100, I think it did pretty well. All right, now to the fun stuff. This next few videos, which I'm going to start recording right after I leave you here, is going to involve replacing the wiring harness with this guy. This is a wiring harness I bought off of Talkbass, and I bought it this and two pickups for $30. So very epic. It might not have knobs, but I've got let's see here. These are called Guitar Fetish guitar fetish. These are some guitar fetish fucking P bass pickups. They're supposedly kind of cheap. And then the last set that I have dug in here is from a Made in Mexico P bass from like 2011 or something. And we're just gonna do a fun little round robin comparison, and we're gonna have a video on each one, just kind of going into depth of how they sound and comparing it to this guy. So yeah. That's it. I'll see you in the next one. We will be replacing the wiring harness with this thing. It's got an orange drop capacitor and mojo tone things. Bye.